Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. With me, as always, the inventor of the infomercial and the original shark on the hit TV series Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Kevin, thanks for being here.
Awesome to be here, Seth, and looking forward to our special guest today.
Yes, we have a very special repeat guest, none other than Jeff Walker, creator of the product launch formula, which is literally sold. I'm sure he'll update the number, but last time I checked, it was tens of billions of dollars of products online. Also, the New York Times bestselling author of Launch, How to Sell Almost Anything Online, Build a Business You Love, and Live the Life of Your Dreams. Jeff, thanks so much for coming back.
Hey, thank you so much, Seth. Good to see you, Kevin. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
So since the last time you were here, the AI has kind of taken over the world. How has that affected or enhanced the product launch formula? And what are some of the changes that you and your students have been experiencing?
Well, I think it's made it, well, first of all, it's made creation a lot easier. I'm a big fan of copy and using words, and Kevin certainly with infomercials, it was all about the words you were using. So I know you're a copy guy.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier to create great copy. It makes it easier to create copy, period. I think we still need to have great discernment because the stuff that AI pumps out is good, but you really need to sparkle in this day and age. So I think it's made it easier, but it's also emphasized the need for really understanding the marketing principles and what makes for good marketing and what makes for good copy.
Hey, Jeff, I thought, for those that haven't heard the overview of what the product launch formula is, maybe take a 30 to 60 seconds and just explain kind of a quick synopsis of what you created.
Yeah, it's all about taking your marketing and turning it into an event where you release a series of pre-launch content that builds desire before your offer is even available, that delivers real value, that educates, but you're really educating people to the gap between where they are and where they want to be, and where they want to be is what your product is going to deliver to them. So it's a sequence. Usually it used to be like 7 to 12 days. Now it's compressed. Everything's compressed these days, and it's gone more to like 5 to 7 days, where you're delivering a series of that content that shows people the opportunity that their life can change, that shows them how their life will be different, and then basically ask them to enroll in that future self so that they can enroll in your product.
Awesome. And so when you think of, like in my world, infomercials as seen on TV, it's more of a hard sell. Kind of, here's the features, the benefits, buy now.
Right.
The product launch formula is a little more of let's give them a warm and a fuzzy, get them kind of playing with some of the content and bringing them in, and they're getting excited about getting involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, with infomercial, it's an amazing format, incredible format, incredibly effective. And the product launch formula sort of puts some relationship building ahead of that, because a lot of the times, a lot of the things that we're selling it's training, it's coaching, consulting, it's something that's going to transform the life. And it might not be as tangible as some of the most physical products. And so I think that relationship building ahead of time really helps. And it builds to that point where you can have that very effective, very hard sell. Because when you come down to it, first you have that pre-launch and then you have an open cart period. And in the open cart period, by the end of it, it looks an awful lot like like an infomercial would look, where you're really
Right.
pushing people to take that step.
Well, one of the things that because we used your formula for various of our own launches. In fact, one of them was the Zig Ziglar launch of bringing some of his
Yeah.
great things back, secrets of selling and things like that. But one question that I have, because I think we learned there may have been a point where we had given a little too much information out, and there's a delicate balance of you get them warm and fuzzy without giving them too much that, oh boy, don't need to buy this now.
Right. Or I'll buy it after I consume all this other stuff I've already gotten. Absolutely. It's a big danger. In fact, among our coaching students, probably the number one mistake we see is over teaching, just giving too much. And the way I like to think about this is like, if I'm like, hey, Kevin, I took you back 40 years in your life and I said, hey, Kevin, instead of going to college, just opt in here, give us your email address, and I'm going to give you the equivalent of a college degree. I'm going to give you 400 hours of teaching and all. You'd be like, there's no way. I don't believe you. I don't believe you're going to give me that value. I can't possibly be that good if we're just opting, if I'm just giving you an email address. So I think to serve people, you build that relationship and you build that this is the analogy I like to use. If your product is going to take someone from 1 to 100, from they can't hit the ball off the number one tee more than 40 yards and it's always in the rough, to being able to put it 200 yards or 260 yards in the fairway, boom. If you're going to take them from 1 to 100, your pre-launch content takes them from 0 to 1.
Okay.
And that might not sound very generous. People are like, well, I thought you're about delivering value ahead of time. Yeah, I am about delivering a value ahead of time, but every step has to be at the right moment in the right time. And you can't give them 1 to 100 until they've bought into you and your ability to deliver. And that's what taking them from 0 to 1, showing them the opportunity and that you're the person that can give them that transformation. Until that occurs, they can't go 1 to 100.
Yeah.
In today's world of AI, are people, you mentioned it's easier to create content. Does that make people more skeptical? And if so, how do we overcome that?
I think that we are definitely in a more skeptical world. It's just, when you go on YouTube and you see so much stuff that's just generated by AI that's completely fake, or any social, I think frankly, I think this is just accelerating a trend that we've seen. If we went back 200 years ago, there'd probably be a little less skepticism then. So there's more skepticism now. There was more skepticism in 1996 when I started online. There was more skepticism in 2005 when I started teaching product launch formula, and I think AI has definitely accelerated that. And I think it points to the need for the human touch. Even though I'm in the market of one to many, of reaching thousands with my launches, I think still people can discern the difference between a human and a human interaction and AI or a machine. And I think that we have to, in all the ways, lean more into, I'm going to use a buzzword that sort of makes me sick to use, but authenticity, I think actually does count, and it will count more as we go forward. And all the little ways that we can create that, I think, wins.
Hey, we're talking about product launches and AI. That AI is being launched through product launches right now too. I've seen lots of people doing this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I have this long-running formula that, like, when someone's telling you that launches don't work anymore, you're actually in their launch. They're using that message as part of their launch.
How have you incorporated AI into your teachings as part of the product launch formula?
Well, one big thing we did was, so for people who actually join our coaching program, our product launch formula coaching program, they actually had access to our custom in-house built Launchy.ai, and it's not available for sale. It's only for our students, but it basically, your typical LLM, you have to go in and you have to prompt it, which is, we can all figure out how to prompt stuff, but there's a real skill and an art to creating the right prompts. In Launchy, it actually goes in and it will prompt you for creating every piece of the launch. So we actually came out with that 2 years ago. We've been updating it all along, but we jumped on the AI bandwagon super early.
So in terms of your schedule day to day, I know you've had some big successful books, New York Times success, etc. Are you still writing new books, or are you focused mostly on your membership and the folks?
Yeah, Kevin, I aspire to write another book, but oh my God, it took me 2 years to write that one.
It is a huge project.
Yeah. And then I came out with the second edition. I'm like, I'm just going to add a couple chapters. This could only take like a week or two, right? Took over my life for another year. So, I aspire to write another book at some point, but at this point, I'm really leaning just into our students and our coaching.
What is the latest iteration that they're getting into, and where can we send them?
If they go to productlaunchformula.com, that's where you'll get the latest, and we'll always start you off with our launch masterclass, which is coming up in just a few weeks. In the launch masterclass, where I'll basically walk through the entire formula in great detail. I'll be modeling the whole formula for you. You can not only learn from it, but learn from watching what I do. And then we'll be leading into our latest product launch formula, which, as always, we revamp and renew it every single year.
You've had so many case studies of thousands and thousands of successful students reach millions of people. Can you give us a recent one?
So one of my favorite ones is Amy Small, who teaches knitting.
I love it.
Yeah. And I mean, she has these launches that will literally do 6 figures in sales in the first hour.
Wow.
And she's built a multi-million-dollar business. And it's a great business because it's integrated. She both sells the yarn, which is a super crazy custom yarn. I didn't know much about yarn before I got to know Amy, but it's crazy. She goes to India and gets this hand-spun custom yarn made, imports it. So she's selling both the yarn and the teaching and the community, and it's this beautiful ecosystem. And she just grew that thing out of nowhere. It was just absolutely amazing.
So for somebody that is thinking they should use the product launch kind of formula, and they're a startup, is this something? I mean, they need more than thousands of dollars. They need tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. What's kind of a startup budget to do a product launch?
Yeah, well, Kevin, you know that there's so
different degrees depending on where you are in your business.
It's so vast.
Right?
When you say startup, startup to me sort of means like a VC funded, but
I mean, like the knitting lady, for example.
Yeah, the budget.
She's got a nice little business. She says, "Let me think about this." But oh wow, if it's going to cost me $1 million, I don't have the money.
No, the budget is in the hundreds.
Right.
To start at the very basics, if you have something you want to bring to the world, especially if it's teaching or training or something, we teach this process we call the seed launch, which you could literally use free tools, probably spend $100 or less for if you want super basic. And the great thing is you actually start making sales before you create the product. So what you do is you offer some type of a group coaching program that you are going to deliver after the sale is made, so you can actually be revenue positive in your launch before you've even created a product.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. What cause are you the most passionate about these days?
Oh boy. What cause? I mean, I'm passionate. So first of all, we have a long history of raising a lot of money in my company. We've raised millions to build schools in Kenya. We've raised millions for water projects with Charity Water. But the thing I'm most passionate about is helping entrepreneurs, because I think entrepreneurs are the future of humanity. We're the ones that are making a positive change in the world. And so that's the number one thing I am about, is helping entrepreneurs.
I love it. Hey, we got some entrepreneurs on the line right here, right?
I know you do. I know you do.
All right. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Kevin Harrington for Sharkpreneur with Jeff Walker of productlaunchformula.com. Jeff, thanks for coming back.
It's great to see you guys.
You too, Jeff. Take care.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.